So the film begins with a war. The Romans had attacked Africa at that time. This war had been going on for many days. The strange thing was that the general who was commanding the African army was a Roman man named Lucius. In this war, Lucius's wife was also supporting him equally, but unfortunately, she got killed in the attack of the Romans. The number of Romans was already more, and they were already overpowering Africa. But the intelligence of Lucius and his wife stopped them. But after the death of his wife, all the courage of Lucius was broken. He loved his wife very much, and after her death, Lucius also stopped fighting, and thus the Romans won and they lost. The Romans captured Africa, and the African army, including Lucius, were captured and taken to Rome. At that time, two twin brothers, Geta and Caracalla, were ruling there. The first king of Rome was very merciful, but ever since the rule of these two brothers, all the public here was in trouble. Because they were very cruel, even Caracalla's mental condition was not good. Anyway, under the leadership of General Marcus, they won this war, and to celebrate it, Geta organizes a program for his and his people's entertainment. This was a fighting program in which they were going to face their enemies with very heavy and bloodthirsty monkeys. Many prisoners, including Lucius, were brought to this battlefield. As soon as he reached here, Lucius got a flashback of his childhood. He felt as if this place was familiar and he lived here. He remembered that when he was a child, his mother had sent him from this field with some soldiers. This clearly meant that Lucius had a deep connection with this place. It can be seen in the present that the war had started on the battlefield here. The deadly monkeys were released on the enemy soldiers. Those bloodthirsty monkeys attacked and killed many soldiers in a single moment. Their style of killing was that the soldiers were not able to save themselves. Lucius and his companions stood at a distance and kept watching this scene, and then with their courage, intelligence, and bravery, they went ahead and fought with those monkeys, attacking them from behind. They managed to overpower them and finally kill them. Here we notice that Rome's ex-general Maximus watched Lucius fighting very carefully, and as soon as this game program was over, he took Lucius with him. As soon as he meets Lucius, he first praises him for his fighting and courage. He says to him, "I have seen your strength, and seeing that, I want you to fight for me and become my gladiator. In return for this, I will give you a good and luxurious life." Otherwise, you know how the prisoners are treated here. The offer of General Maximus was not bad. But on hearing this offer, Lucius started laughing. General was looking at him with questioning eyes. Then Lucius said, "I did not come here for any other purpose. I came here for the death of your General Marcus. I want his head because he has killed my wife." On hearing this, the general tells him that your work is my responsibility, and you will get the severed head of Marcus, but in return, you will obey me. The scene cuts now, and we are shown General Marcus with his wife Lucilla. Lucilla was the princess of Rome. This Rome earlier belonged to her father, and after her father's death, all this Rome was given to Lucilla's husband, who died in a war. Now Lucilla was married to General Marcus. General Marcus was talking to Lucilla that now he is the one who has the right to rule, and not Geta and Caracalla. That is why he has planned a rebellion. After a few days, he plans for a big war against Geta and Caracalla. After the scene cuts, we are shown that Lucius was called once again to fight a gladiator, i.e. a professional fighter. This fight was also kept only for the entertainment of the emperors. The gladiator who had come to fight Darius had been the champion for many years, and no one had been able to defeat him to date. This is why he was overpowering Lucius as well, but Lucius did not lose courage. First, he fought for his defense, and finally, after sensing the weakness of the gladiator, he controls him by holding his hands and kills him by stabbing him with his own knife. This was the time when everyone stood surprised. Lucius had killed the most experienced gladiator ever. At this time, Geta also gets impressed by Lucius and starts praising him. In response to Geta's praise, Lucius recites a poem to him. This poem was narrated to him by his mother in childhood, and it was in the Roman language. Everyone was surprised to hear this poem, and General Marcus also came and took Lucius from there soon. After going to the jail, he asked Lucius, "Where are you from? Where were you born?" Now, after listening to this poem, he also started suspecting that maybe he is Lucilla's son. But even after Marcus asks him 100 times, Lucius does not tell this thing clearly. The scene cuts, and we are shown General Marcus, who is preparing for his rebellion. At this time, the senators, many government spies, and important people are also ready to support General Marcus, because they are fed up with the injustices of the emperor, i.e. Gaeta. Marcus tells all of them that he has formed his own special army, which has about 5,000 men, and they will attack the palace through the army. Now the next day comes, and we see that Gaeta has arranged a fight with another gladiator, that too for Lucius and his men. This time, the gladiator was a rhinoceros, and he was controlled by a Roman soldier. If someone managed to escape from the rhinoceros, then this soldier would kill that person by whipping him. This fight was so dangerous that it was impossible for any prisoner to escape from this battlefield. The fight begins, and before Lucius, many of his fellow prisoners are brought in to face the rhinoceros, all of whom the rhinoceros had already killed with each of its hits. And now finally it was the turn of Lucius, who was more intelligent. He saves his life by moving aside from the attack. And the second time, when the rhinoceros came close to attack Lucius, he picked up some mud and blew it in the air in such a way that the rhinoceros could not see him. And as soon as he did this, he moved towards the wall. As soon as the rhinoceros saw him, he tried to attack him. Lucius moved from there, and the horn of the rhinoceros got stuck in the wall. Now, since he had already escaped from the rhinoceros, the soldier sitting on the rhinoceros started fighting with Lucius. This gladiator was much more powerful and experienced than the first gladiator. Lucius was not able to understand his moves. Lucius tried his best to save himself, but during this time, he was not able to attack the gladiator in front of him. Before Lucius could make his move, the gladiator in front of him attacked Lucius and knocked him down. The fight was over here. Lucius was about to be killed, but then Gaeta stopped the fight by making a gesture because he wanted to give Lucius another chance. He liked Lucius's talent. While giving Lucius a chance, Gaeta recited the same poem, which Lucius had recited this poem for her after winning. On hearing this poem from Gaeta's mouth, Lucilla remembered many old things. This poem seemed familiar to her, but where she had heard it and where she had read it, she could not remember, and after going into the room, she remained in the same curiosity thinking about this, and finally she remembered that when after her husband's death, she was sending Lucius, that is her son, from here with other soldiers, then she had recited this poem to her son. Seeing this, Lucilla understood that Lucius was none other than her own son. Here in the flashback, we are shown why Lucilla had sent Lucius so far away from her. Lucius was very young at the time when his son died in a war. According to the law, Lucius was going to be the next king, but due to his young age, anyone could kill him and take over the throne. To save her son's life, Lucilla took a big decision and sent her son away from here. She could not see this throne or power with anyone else any longer. She decided that she would go tonight and tell the whole truth to Lucius. As soon as she came to the prison, Lucius first apologized to him because she had distanced him from herself, and this was the reason that she had not been able to recognize her son till now. After that, Lucilla told him that I did not want to keep you away from me, but at that time, it had become a compulsion for me. After your dad's death, many people became enemies of your life, and I sent you so far away to protect you from the people. You are my son, the rightful heir, and the rightful ruler of this place. Lucilla wanted to say a lot more, but Lucius was angry. Who knows what was going on in his mind? Was troubling him, so he scolded Lucilla and sent her away from there. Now the scene cuts, and we are shown the next day, where Lucius has to fight in another battle. This battle was more dangerous than the previous one. This battle was to take place on a ship. The ship was in such waters where hungry sharks were left free. If Lucius lost, he would be thrown into the water, and if he lost his balance while fighting and fell into the water, the sharks would eat him. Still, he fights bravely, and after killing the gladiator in front of him, he picks up an arrow again and throws it towards General Marcus. He did this attack because General Marcus had killed his wife, and he was here only to kill General Marcus. Lucius missed his target, and the arrow hit Gaeta's chair. No one died, but General Marcus left there due to his security. He went to his room, and we saw that he was still busy preparing for his war. Then Lucilla came to him and gave him the biggest news to General Marcus, that his son, i.e. Lucius, has returned, who is the real heir to the throne of this place. This was a big shock to General Marcus, because he himself was dreaming of ruling here. Well, it was found that a mate had secretly overheard their conversation, and she went and told this to the General Maximus, who is the old general here, and who had initially offered Lucius to become his gladiator. Now this general and spy, who were reported that Lucius, i.e. Lucilla's son, has returned, they go and give this news to the king here, i.e. Gaeta and Caracalla. I.e. they had deceived General Marcus and went and told everything to the king, that General Marcus is going to rebel first and fight with you for the throne. The other news they gave was that Lucilla's son has returned, and he will now snatch the throne from them. On hearing this, both of them got angry, and Gaeta immediately got Lucilla and General Marcus arrested, i.e. imprisoned them. The scene cuts to Lucius in prison, with a soldier sitting next to him. The soldier was telling him old stories about the gladiators and old rulers of this place, including his dad's name, Maximus. Lucius, through this man, tries to know more about his father, and this man tells him about his father and takes him to a place where his father's armorer had kept his swords. Seeing them, Lucius remembered the flashbacks of his childhood and was convinced that Lucilla was not lying. He himself is the son of Maximus and Lucilla. Well, the next day it is shown that King Gaeta organizes another war, the same fighting program, which is held every day for entertainment. And this time, he has called his new prisoner to fight, who is none other than General Marcus. General Marcus was a very old gladiator, a very old fighter, and it was impossible to fight with him. However, many gladiators were sent against him. General Marcus easily fought them and managed to defeat them. After which Lucius was called here, that too on Gaeta's orders. This time, a battle was going on between Lucius and General Marcus. Lucius's aim was to take revenge for his wife by killing General Marcus. But while fighting, General Marcus dropped his sword and surrendered himself to Lucius, saying that, "Lucius, I know you are the next true ruler here." Seeing him sitting down like this, Gaeta got up from a distance and ordered Lucius to kill General Marcus, but Lucius did not think it right to kill General Marcus at this time, because the person in front of him was not fighting, but was sitting down having thrown his sword. When Gaeta saw that Lucius did not listen to him and did not kill General Marcus, he ordered his soldiers to kill General Marcus, and all the soldiers attacked him with arrows to kill him. Lucius got a big shock on seeing this. He was saddened by the death of General Marcus. But he used this death for his own benefit as a political move and shouted to all the people, "Look what the king has done to him. He has killed the greatest general of this place, who fought for your king for years. If the life of such a great man is worth nothing here, then see what is the value of your lives for this king. One day, he will kill you as well." Hearing this, the people here also got angry, and they too turned against their king, i.e. Gaeta. Soon this campaign grew so much that people came out on the roads even at night to protest and to remove Gaeta from the government. During this time, when the whole city was having riots, General Maximus caused another disturbance inside. He told the king, Caracalla, who was the brother of Gaeta, that Gaeta will never let you become the king. He always wants to have his own rule over the whole of Rome, and will maintain his own rule. You guys will see, Caracalla, who was a little weak mentally, got influenced by the words of General Maximus, and in anger, he attacked Gaeta. Not just attack, he even cut off Gaeta's head with the sword and killed him. Lucilla, unaware of all this, had come to the prison at that time to meet Lucius. She had a ring of his dad in her hand, the king's ring, which was to be given to the real throne holder. She gives it to Lucius and says that now you are worthy of it. Seeing this, Lucius says nothing and silently takes the ring. There was a strange regret in his eyes. He held her hand and looked at his mother, i.e. Lucilla, and said to her, "I am sorry, mother. I could not save General Marcus, but now I will save you. I do not want to lose you." Saying this, he immediately hugged his mother, Lucilla, and all the resentment between them ended. Well, the next day, it is shown that King Caracalla was announcing his rule and telling everyone that Geta is dead, and now the new king here is myself, i.e. Caracalla. Before everyone could react to his decision, General Maximus arrives here with Geta's head, and he tells everyone that his brother, i.e. Geta, has been murdered by Caracalla. And as a punishment for killing the king, Caracalla is trapped here and sent to jail. All this was Maximus's trap, but Caracalla did not understand this, because it was not right. After removing both of them from the way, General Maximus declared himself to be the king here. And his rule came here, and from behind, Lucius started playing his traps. The ring which Lucius's mom gave him, he gave it to a soldier and showed him a special place, and told him that at this place you will meet General Doris. Give him this ring, and tell him that the Emperor of Rome, Lucius, has asked for your help. On hearing this, the soldier came to know that Lucius is no one else but Lucilla's son. He obeyed Lucius's orders and went to get help from General Doris. Here General Maximus, who was drunk with power, called Lucius for a new gladiator game, because Lucius had rejected being General Maximus's gladiator. That's why now General Maximus, by making him fight with many people in front of him, wanted to take revenge on him. When this message reached Lucius, he became mad with anger, but he did not react much here. He had already taken the key of the prison from the soldier. As soon as he got the chance, he broke out of the jail and attacked the soldiers here. He got free and ran away from here because he had to go and meet the army of General Doris and come back here and attack General Maximus, that is, Rome. For the government to take its rights, it takes no time, and this news also reaches General Maximus that General Doris is coming with his entire army to attack. Seeing this, the program he had set, he had to get up from that program and get ready for the war. After some time, we were shown a warlike situation where two armies were facing each other. One Roman army was being led by General Maximus, and the other army was being led by Lucius and General Doris. Although the army of Lucius and General Doris was small, but their bravery and courage was very high. These armies started fighting among themselves. Now here, where two armies were fighting, General Maximus and Lucius also came face to face. Lucius said that I am fighting to save Rome from people like you. As soon as he said this, a fight started between them. Their fight was very fierce. Sometimes Lucius and sometimes General Maximus were overpowering each other. While doing sword fighting, these people jumped into the water, but did not give up their fight. They reached point while fighting, where General Maximus overpowered Lucius, and while attacking Lucius, he threw him underwater. Lucius was about to accept defeat, but then his mom's voice echoed in his ears. Maximus had got her killed by his men on the other side. He mustered up the courage, and this time he attacked Maximus and killed him. As soon as he killed him, he had already won. As soon as he won, he told all his people that it was my dad's, Maximus's dream to make Rome a country where there is peace for everyone. But unfortunately, no ruler let his dream to come true, but I will turn his dream into reality, and everyone claps for him. And they show that they have accepted Lucius as their ruler, their king, and in the end, the rightful owner gets the rule. And the story ends here showing just this.